We are looking at layer styles. Layer styles are these interesting effects that you can add on a layer by layer basis. To start off, we're going to go to New Project, and I'm just going to do a Full HD preset under the screen category here, and I'm going to create. And I'm going to use black for my background, so I'm going to change my background color to black. I could have done this first if I wanted to, but I did not. And then I'm going to add a text layer. I want to add a few different kinds of layers just to give you an idea of the versatility of that layer styles give us. I'm going to hit OK. And using the type tool, I'm just going to type Mr. K for this one. I'm going to transform it and make it larger. Remember, Control-Alt-T, drag from a corner while I hold Shift and hit the check mark. So I don't have, it's not very fancy. I'm going to go ahead and actually find a better font than this. I probably should have done this before I started recording a video. That's all right. I think destroy. That sounds intriguing, right? Let's do destroy. This is Mr. I. But not if we move it over. Here we go. It's a little too big now, so I'm going to size it down just a bit. And we're going to put it, like it right down here at the bottom. I would definitely do a little work on this if I wasn't in the middle of a video. Maybe I'll just get rid of that. What the hey? That's for demonstration purposes. All right, and then as another example of a layer, I'm going to create another new layer, and we'll just use my brush on this one. Because this layer is positioned above, if I use my brush and I start to draw over or across the text layer, it's going to appear above the text layer. I could also make another layer below by dragging it below my text layer. So if I have, I don't know, just pick a random color here. No, it shouldn't be random. This is a design class, right? So let's kind of coordinate a little bit. We're going to do red and gold because I can. I'm going to turn up my smoothing so I can get a nice smooth line. And I'm just going to make some streaks here. Oh gosh, there's the, ran into the edge of my touchpad. Let's try that again. I'll use my mouse this time. Here we go. And then I'm going to do another one above. I'm going to make this one a little bit larger, maybe. We'll come from a different direction. Sure, why not? I probably should change the color, but that's okay. We can do that after. All right, so I have my example layers here. Now, to get to layer styles, all I have to do, there's 3 or 4 different ways I can do it. First way is to right-click and go up to, oops, I can't see it because of the video. I gotta move the video. Right-click and go up to blending options. So I can go to blending options here, and now I have this weird thing over my video here. Go away. Go away. It's not going away. Oh well, it's there. It's happening. And so that takes me to my layer style / blending options dialog box. I can click on the X to get out of that and show you a different way. You can also go through layer and you can go to layer style here. And you have all of those options directly in there. Personally, my favorite way to get to the layer styles is to double click on the layer. Anywhere on the layer except for on the layer name, because if you double click on the layer name, it lets you rename it. Otherwise, clicking anywhere on the layer style or on the layer allows you to go to your layer styles. So once I'm in my layer styles, I have a lot of different options here. Bevel and emboss, stroke, which is sort of like an outline around whatever is on your layer, an inner shadow, which works inside of the marks that you've made on that layer, whether it's text or drawn, whether a pixel layer. Inner glow, which is really similar to inner shadow, but it starts you off with some different settings. Satin, which kind of tries to mimic sort of a metallic or even a watery sheen to your layer. Color overlay, which gives you a new color on top of whatever's on your layer. Gradient overlay gives you gradient. Pattern overlay gives you a pattern, outer glow, and then a drop shadow. And when you click on each of these to turn them on, you can click on just the check mark. But if you want to be able to change the settings and change, the color of the color overlay or the opacity, there's all kinds of options to each one of these. If you click on the name of the layer style, you can get to all those options. And there's so much you can do with layer styles. If I wanted to add a drop shadow or an outer glow, I wanted to make it glow. If you don't see, first of all, if you don't see the effect very well, we can see that a tiny bit. Usually the two culprits are size and spread. So if I change the size and I change the spread of my layer style, I can make it a lot more visible. This does not look good at all. And I'm going to hit OK. I don't want a gradient on there. All right, good enough for demonstration purposes. And you guys can play around with opacity and screen and all that kind of stuff, the blending mode on the effect itself. And one of the cool things is that you can also combine, as many of these layer styles as you want to together. So then I'll hit OK. I can do the same thing with the text if I want to add a stroke to the text, add an outline to it. This is a weird font to add a stroke to because it has all these sort of inner areas because it's destroyed, I guess. But you can change the size, you can change the positioning. Again, lots of options that you can play around with for your layer styles. So I would definitely take a lot more time to play around with this, but for demonstration purposes, I think that should be pretty good. Again, it doesn't matter what the layer type is, but double clicking on the layer, you can use the layer menu, or you can right click and go to blending options to get to your layer styles. And that's it.